Will.i.am, whoever the hell he is, you know, all these kind of people. You cannot tell me that these people don't have agendas, indeed, you know.
Okay, so, but Will.i.am is someone who is very successful in lots of different ways of music.
Yes, I know he is. I know he is. So
what do you listen to?
Would you
ever, have you ever heard somebody from one of those shows and thought, actually, they're all right? Do you ever, I mean, do you ever listen to a ballad?
Do I ever listen to a ballad? Yeah, the old Joni Mitchell thing or something else like that.
What do you listen to?
Radio 4 mainly.
Speech?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
watch speech and documentaries and things like that. Music, sort of, it's just, you know, music, I try to avoid listening to music unless I really, really, really consciously want to listen to music. I've been listening to music all the time. And I prefer to either think it up or create it or doodle on a piano or something. You know, every now and again you hear something and you sort of go, you know, that was nice. Who's that? You know, so I have to ask my kids. You know, so, by the way, who's that? Sounds odd, doesn't it? But
it does sound odd because, and it sounds for somebody who one presumes is a music lover.
Yes.
That you don't listen to music apart from what you, from the sounds of it, what you're creating yourself.
By and large, I'd say that's, yeah. Although having created it, I don't listen to it subsequently.
But you do play it. I mean, I know you move on and you get new fans who are actually hooked on your new albums and then discover the back catalogue. Yeah. But you do go back and play the old stuff to the audience. Yeah,
I mean, and in fact, you know, we're having great fun rediscovering some of the stuff that we did on you know, one of the tours recently. I mean, we're going to go out shortly and do 3 months of it in the States, which is going to be absolutely marvellous.
Do you ever feel a need to change? Because one of the things when you look at what is on YouTube now, or what the publicity that Iron Maiden does now, in many ways it has hardly changed in 30 years. It is still, I mean, you've still got your mascot Eddie the Head. It's still this, it's sort of cartoon drawings. It's the stuff you would see on, perhaps on teenage posters. You know, you're in your 50s now. I wonder if you ever look at it and think, maybe we should update it, maybe we should mature our image.
But mature our image, why? You know, I mean, because inside this 53-year-old exterior, 54 in August, is a 17-year-old, actually probably mental age, probably slightly younger, I don't know. You know, but that's the core of why you do this thing. When you're a kid and you experience something, I don't know, whatever it is that makes you feel, wow, walking on air, you know, the first song you write, you know, the first experiences, you have to ring-fence those and guard them against what I can describe as the cynicism of the world, because the world eats into people and destroys those hopes and those dreams and things like that. And it's those things that people call childish. Those are the things actually that motivate us and that keeps our creativity precious. That's what's inside people, and they lose it at their peril. And people, I've seen people that have lost it, and it's really sad. So when I say, oh, I listen to Radio 4, it's not because, you know, I hate the Western world and music. It's just because I've got the confidence that I've got this little thing inside me, and you know what, if I see something and spot something and go, that's brilliant, I love that, I know it's real. Because the reality is the emotion, it's not the thing.
And you now can be heard on Radio 4 on occasion because of your other love, which is flying.
Yes.
And you've said you get as much of a buzz out of flying as you do as performing in front of 500,000.
It comes down to that feeling. And I call it the light bulb effect. At every moment, I take it all back to childhood, because somebody somewhere in everybody's life has said something, done something, inspired somebody to do something, or been inspired by something that somebody has done as a kid, and praised them, and that's made them feel amazing. Ring-fence that feeling, that sense of curiosity. And when I had my first experience flying an aeroplane, actually flying it, as opposed to cerebrally thinking about it or trying to understand it or things like that, It was overwhelming. It was amazing.
Okay.
And, you know,
and we now find ourselves in a situation where you're putting £1 million of your own money into Cardiff Aviation Limited, which, aside from doing maintenance, will be training other pilots.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. The whole point about the project in Cardiff is that it's a multifaceted organisation. You know, it's not just about spanners on aeroplanes, it's about training pilots, it's going to be about overhauling components, and possibly starting airline operations as well, because the facility can encompass all of those things. It's an amazing facility.
OK, but it is all theoretical at the moment. It will depend on getting contracts.
Don't get the keys till the 1st of July. So, you know.
Have you had any assurances? Are you able to attract business?
I'm absolutely confident we're able to attract business. In fact, I mean, I was off attracting some business this morning.
Successfully?
Well, yes. I mean, one does hope so. All of these things.
Because you said you hope to create 1,500 jobs in 18 months.
No, what I said was that's at the very top end of expectations after 3 or 4 years. What I said was, if in 18 months we haven't created a couple of hundred jobs, we'll probably be out of business, because a couple of hundred jobs is what's going to be required to keep the facility ticking over.
It's what many countries desperately need now, people who are going to create jobs. Would it be easier if the restrictions on business, the regulations, were reduced?
Of course it would. Of course it would. And I think that that this is a time at which people need to really, you know, it's oft used expression, they really need to think outside the box. And for governments to take really courageous actions. One of the really courageous actions, I mean, if you look at the recent report that came out about the tax system, for example, I mean, OK, I'm not a tax exile or any of that rubbish, you know, my tax bill, you know, makes my eyes water, you know. Now, if I knew where that money was going, I wouldn't be whinging about it. But actually, I'd rather than give that money to the government, I'd rather say, OK, you want to tax me and give me a huge bill, fantastic. I'll spend that money, not on me, I'll spend that money doing stuff that I want to do that will create jobs. Why can't I do that? So if you could do that for people, I think that a lot of people in business a lot more people would start businesses. It de-risks it. It takes so much risk out. If you're going to lose the money in tax anyway, and you've always wanted to start, I don't know, a corner shop or something, let the government give you the money to do that, rather than put it into the black hole, which, you know, that is the government coffers. Now, there's still so much waste.
Would you describe yourself as a conservative and a Eurosceptic one?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, I read your grandfather was a miner.
He was indeed, yes. I was born in the front room upstairs. I went to the local pit school, 52 Mountain Crescent, still there, bless it, you know.
How would he feel about that?
Well, he didn't have a very high opinion of Arthur Scargill.
Right.
His opinion of Arthur Scargill, he's dead now, bless him.
And who was the miners' leader.
He was the miners' leader, was that he was in it for himself. And sadly, the quote-unquote alternative miners' union also appeared to have been in it for themselves, I think, because the absolute scandal about pneumoconiosis. My granddad died of black lung. But you see,
it goes into this strange mix, though, that some people would say, this Iron Maiden lead singer who's perhaps not, it's the conservative and the Eurosceptic.
Yeah. Yeah, but nobody is, you know, nobody should think that people are just caricatures. You know, I mean, I think that most working class people are by their nature conservative. They are by their very nature conservative. You know, they don't believe in. There's a great line in one of my favourite films, Brassed Off, right? Fantastic film. It didn't, you know, create anything. There's a great line in Brassed Off, which I think recreates that whole mining vibe and everything at the end, where the guy comes up and they've won the cup or something, and the guy goes, "Oh, so you'll be giving us the cup back now, then, will you?" He goes, "Don't be bloody daft," you know. And that's
so,
it. And
so just briefly,
it's common sense.
Tell me this: if there's a campaign that you be knighted, and if
what?
There's an online petition. So if Sir Bruce Dickinson, the person who goes down on one knee in front of the Queen, will it be the Iron Maiden lead singer who's being knighted, or the businessman? What are you most proud of?
Oh wow. You know, quite frankly, I'm proud. I mean, I'm very proud of one, which is already well established. The other one,
who knows?
Who knows?
Bruce Dickinson, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.